What is up, you guys? My name is Coach Cam. If it is your first time on this channel, I would love for you to join the Primal Tribe fam and subscribe and follow us for new content that is going to be dropping regularly. Our mission here is just to keep stuff as simple as possible and get you feeding your inner beast and killing off your inner bitch. So, the topic of today, I'm sorry, guys. Lately, I've just been so stuck on this topic because it has just impacted me a lot lately. And I feel like since the first law of the universe is the law of divine oneness, that this has been impacting us a lot lately. So, right now, at the time that I'm shooting this video, I feel that we are going into an expansion phase. We are racking up a lot of wins. A lot of the past kind of tests and challenges are starting to come to an end, and then we are going through a period of rebirth. So you might be welcoming some really exciting new energies into your life, a lot more wins, or just kind of seeing all of the things, all of the fruits of your labor start to come forth, which is a super amazing energy to be in. I'm really fucking happy that we are in this phase. Don't get me wrong, I really do love all of them, but the last time I went through a contraction and expansion phase, I told myself, I was like, okay, now that I got through that, I just kind of focused on the fact that I was past that point and I didn't have to focus on it anymore. And now that it has happened again and the cycle has happened again, I decided that it would give a lot of value to not only myself, but all of you guys and everyone else that is going to be watching this video and following me, that I would break down what exactly is happening when we are transitioning out of that contraction phase, how to make it easier when we're in the contraction phase, and what processes actually took place for that whole switch to happen. Where, because you're racking up the L's, you're just taking L after L after L after L, and you're like, oh my God, this is friggin' just crazy. I wanted to stop. And then you realize that you do something, and then the energy just switches, and then you're in complete alignment with the universe. Everything is working the way that you want it to. It just seems like one day everything that you touch starts to turn to gold, and you're like, what did I just do? Because I need to understand what I just did so that I can replicate that the next time that I'm going into one of these contraction phases, and then I can make the expansion phase come about quicker. So I sat down with myself and really thought about this, and my first main focus was just racking up the wins. Because I find when you're racking up the wins and you're following the program and you're doing the things that you should be doing, you take your mind off of the big picture of the moment. You put your mind onto one task. You get yourself into this moment, into the present, and then you can actually bask in the beautiful, amazing energy that is right in front of you, that you can actually enjoy and fully be present in. And this helped me take away a lot of the pain that I was feeling, because I find when I'm in a contraction phase, I'm not really living. How it starts is I do something that creates karmic debt, unfortunately. And then I'm not living in the moment. The moment has been seized from me. And so has my alignment and communication with the universe. And then the connection that I had has been severed, and I feel immense pain. This is what has been happening in the start of my contraction phases, I've realized. And then what I do to get out of it is that I take myself out of because when you're getting served karmic debt, the present moment is being taken away from you. To get the present moment back. When you're not in the present moment, like it or not, you're in the past in a detrimental way, or you're in the future in a detrimental way. But to get the moment back, you have to be immersed and in flow state in the singular task that you have at that moment at hand. And so what I've realized is that most times when I accumulate this karmic debt in the first place, it's because I wasn't following my program as well as I should. Because to be honest with you, I get immense momentum. I accomplish more things than I even believed I could accomplish. And then once I get this momentum, I start to slack off. And I just kind of let like the merry-go-round turn. I don't know. You know that circle? This is a reference that we were talking about the other day. You know that circle on the playground and it has like, 4 bars and then you gotta like push it to make it go? And then like after you push it and push it and push it, like at the start it's really hard because you don't have like it's stopped, that bitch is heavy. And then after a while you get that momentum and then it gets later and then you're like, oh, this is really easy, and then you stop pedaling and then it starts to slow down and then you have to put more effort. I mean, I don't ever let my life, I'd like to believe I don't ever let my life come to a grinding halt. I have in the past. But at this point of my life and in enlightenment, the level that I'm at, this is something that I believe I've surpassed, but it might show back up at some point, like a outward inflicted adversity onto my life, which is totally fine. I can overcome that when it shows up, if it shows up. And I just kind of let myself get to a point where it's just more difficult to gain that momentum again. And I found myself refocusing on my program. When I refocus on my program, I stack up the wins. And then when I am focused on what I'm creating instead of the shitstorm that's happening around me, then I'm actually able to turn this around pretty fast. And then it takes away all the stress that comes with going through a contraction phase. It helps me refocus my mind, and it literally gets me not only racking up the wins, but creating the result that I actually want to create. Then that alleviates all of the stress that came from the prior steps. And then I get back in a flow state, I start feeling good, and then next thing I know, I'm in an expansion phase and everything is growing and I'm reaching levels and heights that I've never attained before, and life gets really exciting, and then it starts to stagnate once again. Now, this is just the level that I'm at of enlightenment. Of course, if I watch this video in 6 months, I'll probably be like, facepalm moment, what am I even saying? But I think that it's just worth sharing because I know that there are people eternally at, all stages of enlightenment. And if you can find a few things in this video that will help you out and that will really like just expedite the growth process for you, give you different perspectives to see things in, and just give you a few things that you can kind of think with throughout your day to day, I know that this is what is going to get you ahead in life, because these are the things that got me ahead to the next level of enlightenment, to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. And when I'm going through these shitstorms, it was things like this that my mentor shared with me that helped me actually get through those periods in time. Because honestly, guys, the adversity that I've gone through, I don't think I would have made it through if I wasn't constantly developing myself, listening to personal development videos, um, and just really giving my mind that positive energy. I have it in my routine now that working on mindset is literally fucking paramount. We have 3 pillars in our program. It's mindset, training, and nutrition. I didn't always realize that mindset was so important, but when I got to a certain point, I actually realized that it had been something I had put into my program without fully realizing that it was in my program. And I was like, nah, I just do like nutrition and training. And I didn't realize, like, I'm reading all the time. I'm listening to videos all the time. I have mentors and I have coaches. And for some reason, I never put 2 and 2 together. But I've literally been working on this program that I have for 10 years. And in the fitness industry, there is a lot of fucking bullshit. There's just a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of people that want to willingly steer you the wrong way. And then there's a lot of people that don't really want to steer you the wrong way, but they don't have any other information. And like it or not, their level of enlightenment only allows them to share what they've already done. And if they haven't made it that far, then they can't share that much. But when I realized, like, what makes my training so good? You know what makes my training so good? That I eat to sustain the gains that I already have, that makes my metabolism work at the rate that it should, and that I also eat to have more gains. So it's not just sustaining and maintaining what I have now, but it's actually enabling me to grow and recover from the training that I'm doing. So my training becomes successful because of my nutrition. And my training, what makes my training successful? Well, the fact that when I'm in the gym, I'm always thinking that I want to push myself past what I can actually do, because I know that those last reps are really what matter. And what makes me think like that? My mindset. What makes me adhere to my nutrition program and not go out and just frigging go on a rampage of eating all of this random shit that I shouldn't be eating, like having chocolate and chips and drinking pop. I don't drink pop. I don't eat chips. I have dark chocolate, okay? Because brain food. I can teach you about that later, but anyways, it's not like this craving. It's not this um you know, when people, you're like, "Oh, clearly that person just acted on an impulse and it wasn't a rational thought." Chocolate for me is not that. It's not this irrational, departing from sanity type of coping mechanism. For me, dark chocolate is literally just like walnuts or cashews or fucking a protein shake. It's like any other food. I don't have any cravings towards that. But what makes me like that? My mindset. And what makes my training so successful is that I adhere to a program and I repeat my exercises. I'm not just showing up at the gym. You can tell who's successful in there and who's not. I used to work the front desk at a gym, and people, when they would show up, I would ask them what they were training, and then some people would say, I don't know, and then other people would have a fucking answer for me, like that. Like, they knew what they were training, they knew why they were there, they knew what exercises they were going to do, they knew how long they were going to be there, they knew when they were going to leave, they had like food ready for after their workout. And that is the thing that made certain people successful at the gym and others not. Like, if you're showing up at the gym and you don't know why you're there, what kind of workout do you expect to have? You know, you probably don't even have expectations. You're probably like, well, I'm just gonna go with the flow. Guess what? If you actually want to go with the flow, that's perfectly fine. Float around, okay? But if you actually want results and you want to make a change in your life, you have to understand that this takes beast mode and that this takes being fucking serious about your shit. And all of these people floating around in the river are not that. You're not going to get what you want that's going to make you proud of your fucking accomplishments and looking in the mirror and being like, that's me. This and floating around in the river are two different things. But you can pick your side. This is your life. This is your thing. You can decide what you want. It's totally up to you. But I hope that you got at least one thing from this video. That is it for me today. So, we will see you on the next one. Peace and love.